What's up, Guiding Bolt fans? This is Nick, and today we're going to be talking about which miniature set you should purchase if you're thinking of running the Lost Mine of Phandelver. Now, the reason this came up is a friend of mine who is they've never DM'd before. They just picked up the starter set and they wanted to get some miniatures to use with the adventure, and they're just wondering where to start, right? There's tons of options out there. There's just slews of miniatures, numerous sets, all kinds of places you can get them from, eBay, Amazon, so on and so forth. So anyways, where do you start in this sea of miniatures? Now, if you're familiar with the Lost Mine of Phandelver, it released in July of 2014. Can you believe it's been that long already? Now, the set that we're talking about is the Tyranny of Dragons. This is from WizKids, the Icons of the Realms. And this set released a month later in August of 2014. So it kind of makes sense that this is the set that I would recommend. A lot of times, WizKids tends to release the their miniature set kind of follow in line with what the module is or where it takes place. So, for instance, Tomb of Annihilation, there's a miniature set for it. Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, there's a miniature set for it. So, kind of makes sense that we would talk about this specific set. You can still get these miniatures. You can, I think a brick is just a little over $100 on Amazon when last time I checked. So they are still available. So if you haven't already done this adventure, if you're new and thinking about jumping in, pick these up before they're no longer available. Who knows how long they're going to be available? Because like I said, 2014 is when this came out. So let's just jump in here and take a look at some of the miniatures and where you can use these. Now, if you don't already have a stockpile of miniatures, and you're a newer DM, there's a good chance you're probably playing with players that are new players, and which means that they likely won't have a miniature for themselves or for their players. Now, there's a lot of good options in here. We're just going to talk about kind of the NPCs and player miniatures first. So just kind of scrolling through these here. There is a rock gnome. So you can just say that that's just a gnome. Now a lot of these have on the miniatures, it says what class they are. You don't have to pay, you don't really have to care about the class. They can be whatever you want them to be. And again, you're just starting out, so you just want something that's kind of close, right? So we have a gnome, we have a halfling, there is a human paladin, elf. This is a human bandit, but it can just say it's a human, could be a fighter, could be whatever, again, whatever you want. There's a barbarian, got a wizard here, an elf druid, another human. This one's specifically the Cult of the Dragon, pretty fancy outfit. But again, you can use that as either a PC or an NPC. Let's see here, scrolling through, you're going to see a lot of cool miniatures here. This is honestly one of my favorite sets because of the because of all the dragons that are in here. But anyways, there is also so if any of your players are dragonborns, there's a half red dragon fighter. There's also a half black dragon lord there that you could use as again, either PCs or NPCs. So all kinds of sweet options there. Now, when this adventure first kind of kicks off, it's more than likely the very first combat encounter that your PCs are going to have are going to be with some goblins on the Tribor Trail as they're traveling to Phandalin. So you can see here that is there's a common goblin in the set, so there's a very good chance that you're going to get a goblin right off the bat. If you're lucky, maybe you get two of them since they are commons. Usually, if you get duplicates, it's going to be in either the commons or the uncommons that you get the duplicates in. I've never gotten a duplicate rare in all the bricks that I've gotten. So anyways, orcs. There are orcs in, let's see here, Wyvern Tor. If your PCs decide to venture there, they will likely encounter orcs. There is an ogre there. There's no ogre in the set, but you could use this Orog Orc Fighter as you could substitute him in. Either he's the leader or you could just call him an ogre, whichever route you want to go there. Since we're talking about Wyvern Tor, let's scroll back down here again. There isn't any wyverns written into the actual module. That doesn't mean that you can't substitute one. And there is a wyvern right there that you can use, which is a nice option. So Let's see here. If they once they make it to Phandalin, there is the Red Brand hideout. If you pull any of the human Zenthram bandits, I would likely use them there. Also, I might use the Hobgoblin fighter there just because he's dressed in red, so it just kind of seems like a good fit. There are actually Hobgoblins in the module. Your PCs will likely encounter them at Cragmaw Castle. And since we just skipped ahead to Cragmaw Castle, let's talk about other stuff that'll be there. There is a doppelganger there. There is, I think there's also goblins there. There's a bugbear, bug something there. There's a bugbear there. I think King Grawl is his name. There is another bugbear in the adventure, I believe, at Cragmaw Hideout, which is what is his name? Clarg. Clarg, I think, is his name. So if you're once your PCs deal with the ambush, if they decide to see, like maybe if the goblins retreat or if they decide to follow the trail, that will end up leading them to Cragmaw Hideout. It's likely that they'll encounter Clarg there. Let's see here. Going down the list, let's talk about this needle blight. So there are twig blights at Thunder Tree. There are also Cult of the Dragon members in Thunder Tree. And the reason that the Cult of the Dragon members are there is because there is a green dragon there by the name of Venom Fang. And you can see that right here. Uncommon. That's an uncommon dragon. How awesome is that? So there's a very good chance that you'll end up pulling this green dragon that you can use with the adventure. And in addition to that, let's look at a couple of these other winged monsters here. There is also an uncommon copper dragon, black shadow dragon, wyvern, which we already covered, and Pegasus. So lots of really cool options there. Oh, and look at that, Bronze Dragon and also a Guard Drake. So again, not in the adventure, but pretty cool with their options here. Other stuff that's in the adventure, there is a Red Wizard. He is at that, I think there's an ancient Nethril site, and I cannot remember the name of it. I'm not going to go look it up. But I know there is a Red Wizard in the module. There's a Banshee who is at Coneyberry, that is Agatha. Now, no Banshee here, but we could use the Wraith as a substitute. So that's a nice option there, and since it's an uncommon, there is a very good chance that you'll end up getting it with the if you buy a brick anyways. I'm kind of speaking from the if you buy a brick, you end up pulling most of the commons and uncommons, and it's usually like 3 or 4 rares. I've never gotten more than 4 rares. Usually you get 3, 4 if there's like an invisible one, which there are in this set. Let's see here. Is there anything else that I can think of here? There's no drow in this set. The Black Widow? Oh, having a brain fart. Black something. Anyways, the in Wave Echo Cave, the main drow baddie that's there, you could maybe use this guy as a substitute there. Otherwise, I think that's kind of it for the set. I'm not gonna. I could probably sit here and ramble on forever. So, I think that's a good explanation and a good overview of why this set makes the most sense if you're thinking about running the Lost Mine of Phandelver. So yeah, let's just go ahead and leave it at that. We'll keep this a short video. Let me know down below if there are any other sets that you can think of that would be a better recommendation or maybe a supplement to this set. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time.